Nigeria, Africa's largest oil producer, pumps out more than 1.4 million barrels of crude oil every single day, according to the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries. Yet for decades, the nation that leads the continent in oil production has relied on imported fuel to power its cars, its planes, and industries. It's a contradiction that has long defined Nigeria's economy, a country overflowing with natural wealth, yet dependent on others to process it. Billions of dollars have been spent importing refined petrol, diesel, and aviation fuel, draining foreign reserves and leaving citizens vulnerable to recurring shortages and price spikes. To many Nigerians, it has always felt absurd, like owning a bakery but having to buy bread every morning. We export what we have and import what we need. It has never made sense. That may be about to change. In the Lekki Free Zone, just outside Lagos, a new industrial giant is rising. The Dangote Refinery, a $19 billion project that promises to rewrite Nigeria's energy story. It's not just another plant. It's the largest refinery in Africa and one of the 10 biggest in the world, with the capacity to process 650,000 barrels of crude oil per day. The refinery has already begun producing diesel and aviation fuel, with petrol expected to roll out soon. Once fully operational, experts estimate it could save Nigeria up to $10 billion annually in fuel import costs. It could stabilize the naira and create thousands of local jobs. For the first time in decades, Africa's most populous nation could supply its own energy needs and even export refined products to its neighbors. The refinery represents a fundamental shift in Africa's industrial trajectory. It moves Nigeria from being a raw material exporter to a value-added producer. That's the difference between dependency and dominance. The significance goes beyond fuel. It's about rewriting a long-standing script, one where Africa supplies the world with raw materials but buys back finished products at premium prices. From cocoa to cobalt, gold to oil, the story has been painfully familiar. Economists have warned for years that this structure keeps Africa rich in resources but poor in power. True independence, they say, begins when nations refine, manufacture, and process what they already own. The real power isn't in the product, it's in the processing. They'll let you own the farm, but they'll fight to own the factory. That's where profit and control really lie. For the African diaspora, this is a wake-up call for you. Remittances, the billions sent home every year, have built schools, clinics, and homes. But now, it's time to invest not just in consumption, but in production. Nigeria's refinery is already inspiring similar ambitions across the continent. Ghana, Uganda, and South Africa have announced plans to expand or develop domestic refining capacity. Each project moves Africa one step closer to controlling its own supply chains and its own destiny. This is not just about oil. It's about everything that keeps a nation running: food, technology, trade, and power. And it's a message to the world. Africa doesn't need charity. Africa needs infrastructure. Africa needs ownership. And Africa needs vision. So before I go, for decades, the world has told Africa to focus on extractions, to sell its raw materials cheaply and buy back sophistication. But the rise of projects like Dangote's signals a shift, the beginning of a new chapter defined by value creation and self-determination. Let's move.